This is Frankenstein, the film from 1910. It was made by Edison Studios, that was written and directed by J. Searle Dawley. It's said to have been the first motion picture adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. The unbilled cast includes Augustus Phillips as Dr. Frankenstein, Charles Ogle as the monster, and Mary Fuller as the doctor's fiancée. The movie was shot in 3 days and was filmed at the Edison Studios in the Bronx, New York City. Although some sources credit Thomas Edison as the producer, he in fact played no direct part in the activities of the motion picture company that bore his name. Anyways, this is an extremely condensed version of the classic tale known as Frankenstein, but is still a great and interesting movie to check out. I'll explain the plot of the movie for those of you who aren't familiar with it. What happens is Dr. Frankenstein creates a living monster. The monster rebels against Frankenstein. The monster runs away after learning of its horrible appearance, and then peace is restored. However, this film provides an interesting twist to the story in that it implies that the monster was nothing but an outward manifestation of Dr. Frankenstein's internal madness. It's got some cool special effects for the time, too. The most memorable is when Frankenstein creates the monster by pouring a series of chemicals into a cauldron. A skeleton pops out of the top and slowly gains shape and flesh. Now that's awesome. This film was considered lost for quite some time until it turned up in a private collection. In the early 1950s, a print of this film was purchased by a Wisconsin film collector, Alois Detlaff, from his mother-in-law, who also collected films. He didn't realize the rarity of this film until many years later. Its existence was revealed in the mid-1970s. Although somewhat deteriorated, the film was in viewable condition, complete with titles and tints as seen in 1910. Detlaff had a 35mm preservation copy made in the late 1970s. He also issued a DVD release of 1,000 copies. Bear Manor Media released the public domain film in a restored edition on March 18, 2010, alongside the novel Edison's Frankenstein, which was written by Frederick Wilbur Jr. On October 14, 2010, to celebrate the 100th anniversary of the film, English writer and director Dave Mitchell released an online reboot of the original film called Frankenstein 1910-2010. With new title cards based more on Mary Shelley's original novel, as well as retinting the frames and the use of Saint Saëns' Danse Macabre as the new soundtrack. The new version title cards focus on the concept of rejecting creation's words to his creator, who he perceived as his friend. So overall, it's an interesting piece of film history and is definitely worth watching, even today.